What's next for Cyntoia?
So we're actually working with our attorneys on starting a nonprofit, the JFAM Foundation, or also known as the Foundation for Justice, Freedom, and Mercy. We're hoping to be operational by next year, and one of our first campaigns is actually going to be the Glitter Project, which was something that I had started when I was in college there at the prison.
Okay.
And it's the grassroots learning initiative on teen trafficking, exploitation, and rape. And that was actually the interview that just started everything going viral, was actually supposed to be me talking about the Glitter Project. And I had only mentioned clemency just a like
just a
5
little,
seconds.
just enough for people to know I wanted it.
And, that became the story. But it really started with me feeling that it was necessary for us to begin talking about, all the different factors that come into play with making girls more vulnerable to being exploited.
Sure.
All the messaging that we take in around us, the things that, adults are teaching children consciously and subconsciously.
Right.
And I really think that it's time for, a shift in our cultural norms when it comes to that. And so that's what we'll be working on.
I think that's phenomenal. And, our efforts are aligned because after finding out that Atlanta was the number one hub, or like the capital for sex trafficking. And like for the sake of my daughters, I feel the need to get involved, So now I've spoken to my governor, who reached out to me after he saw a video that me and Tiana Taylor did, and
I've seen that.
And we working with his wife to do PSAs and just kind of go about putting some kind of programs together that could kind of offer alternatives and and kind of just preventative maintenance for girls who feel like they don't have another way out. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't even know. Like our children are coming up missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our children are coming up missing. It's a real sex slave trade that is, the dark web is real. There are real, like, secret societies and super rich people who think that they could actually buy human beings and use them for whatever they want to. And if you have runaway girls, if you have people who feel like, both of their parents are kind of uninvolved, they don't have no real guardians, so won't nobody miss them if they come up missing. Like, that shit is real. Even down to the Uber drivers and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some Uber driver or some people who have scanners who try to figure out what Uber driver, if an Uber driver say he's going to come pick you up here, it's people out there who trying to beat the Uber driver there, impersonate the Uber driver to get you in the car and take you to a unknown location and do whatever else.
And they don't always have to kidnap you.
Sometimes you can come thinking you turning the trick.
Most domestic minor sex trafficking, it doesn't happen like that. You run into what you call these Romeo pimps. And, a lot like my situation where you can be dead in the center of it and not even know. When I was doing what I was doing, you couldn't have told me that was what was happening with me. I was in a relationship. What do you mean? Like,
what?
Like, this is my man. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do to bring stuff to the table.
Right.
And, there's a lot of people in society who reinforce that belief, who will say that there are just some young girls who are fast, some young girls who are just promiscuous.
Right.
And, in doing that, that's misidentification of people who are actually victims.
Right.
And there's no such thing as a teenage prostitute. There's no such thing as a minor who was consenting to her own exploitation. And, we as a society don't really understand that. There's people in law enforcement who don't understand that.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a big start. We need to really understand what it means to be a trafficking victim in this country.
Absolutely. And for that reason, I'm glad that we're having this discussion. I think it's so much that we could do together, and I would enforce your efforts to bring awareness and prevention. And I would ask if you are okay with it that we do a PSA together.
I would love to.
Okay, cool.